Welcome to Cultural Default. What does that mean? Where are you? What is this? Who sent you here? Doesn't matter. You're here. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. They say that if you have to explain the joke, then the joke's already ruined. And with rare exceptions, it does seem to be true.
You know, people think that that's lowbrow humor, it's stupid humor. To me, a fart is funny. A fart, let's break down a fart for a second.
Please.
That's hilarious. That's the funniest thing in the world. Here's what I would say is that you don't have to be smart to laugh at farts, but you have to be stupid not to.
A lot of time jokes, when you deconstruct them, become less funny.
Yeah.
That has now farts for me.
Sure.
I think will be even more enjoyable. Thank you.
Great, there's a lot going on.
The savvy among us have an uncanny ability to pick up on if a joke has not landed, and it's not funny when citing a cultural reference point with which your audience is unfamiliar. A friend of this channel has said it's very rare that you're both clever and funny. Again, a few exceptions. Veep, for instance.
Undressing me with your eyes.
I'm adding more clothes, Mike.
Last two on the deck of the Titanic, huh?
Yeah, I think I might jump.
There's not enough alcohol in the world, Jonah.
Didn't say no.
No.
You're not even your mom's favorite, Jonah.
So when I came up with this title, Cultural Default, I thought I was being very clever. So now, let me ruin any chance of it being funny and explain the joke. I was recently having dinner with some very nice folks who didn't know the term normie. It's usually a bit of a derogatory term, so I had to think fast of how to politely define it. I described it as outsiders to a subculture from the perspective of the inside. I, for instance, would be considered a normie to anime weebs. If someone doesn't know what a weeb is, well then, they're more of a normie than me. It's
a spectrum.
But if an intense fandom is on one end, then what's on the other? The answer has to be an
outsider.
But what level of awareness does that outsider have? Fandoms often deal with disagreements over so-called gatekeeping. A subculture, by its nature, is a subsection of the broader community, and the internet collects more and more of these pockets and factions. What do you call someone who is vaguely aware of something, but not deeply invested? The casual audience, gamer, filmgoer, current affairs watcher, cryptocurrency enthusiast. It doesn't matter. It's the passive recipient of culture, the very center of what might be called mainstream. But in this increasingly fractured online world, defining the mainstream becomes more and more of a peculiar task, almost an antiquated modality. And yet, if you're not a normie, there can be no mistake. There are others who are. Different communities call them different things. NPCs, blue-pilled, casuals, the silent majority. And this abstraction is the default person, Joe Schmo off the street, your hypothetical everyman. But default has another meaning in the world of finance. It is the failure to fulfill one's debts, a state of bankruptcy. And are we facing cultural bankruptcy? Year by year, I ask that question. But then, I'm not a normie. Or am I? It's possible that in this digital arena, none of us are normies, and all of us are normies. So that's it. That's the joke. Explained to the ruination of any potential comedy. Cultural Default is exploring the baseline standard of media, entertainment, gaming, television, and beyond, contemplating if it is in decline. Gosh, that's awfully negative. And while I have no intentions of making this a hate watch channel, our culture is increasingly and continually looking backwards not even bothering to make new intellectual property, but leaning on sequels, trying to build cinematic universes that are remaking things that were better left alone, and, as the critical drinker would say,
updated for modern audiences.
Attempting to tap the market of nostalgia and replacing it with a copy of a copy. To quote Rick and Morty,
those decoys made decoys too, and got lazy themselves. And far enough down the line, there be monsters.
Ugh, we get it. You're ugly and mad about it.
but that's a dim perspective. And there have always been sequels, remakes, retellings. Shakespeare was once considered lowbrow. Many great films are a remake, like The Fly, Blob. Whitney Houston's epic I Will Always Love You was a cover with Dolly Parton. So I also want to explore the positive side of things, that which has resonated with me, to better understand why they're great. Great minds will continue to operate in this world, and not everything has conformed with wokeness and derivative safety. You may agree with my taste, you may not. That will be for you to decide. You normie.
We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone. The good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men.